It is so unrealistic to require someone to do that. It is unrealistic to require a man not to cheat on you. It is unrealistic for you to be valued, for you to be treated right. It is unrealistic for you to get your dream job or to have friends that actually want to hang out with you or communicate with you. It is unrealistic for you to get the money you desire or you want from your dream job. It is unrealistic for your job to value you or see your worth. It is unrealistic. Is it unrealistic? Or is it unrealistic to the person you are asking? Can that person just not meet you at your standards or rise to the occasion? Because I don't think it's unrealistic for you, but it may be unrealistic to the person you are asking. I cannot stand when someone tells me what I want in life, or if I want to be treated a certain way, or something I desire, crave, want in my life, that it's unrealistic. No, babe, it's not unrealistic. You are not asking for too much. You are just asking the wrong person. Okay, let's talk about it today because I'm excited for this one, girl. I was just thinking about this the other day and I was like, ooh, we got to get into this one because, this is a self-love channel and we love to raise our standards and we love to value ourselves. And I'm so excited for this topic. When people say it's unrealistic, okay, I like to think about it like this, okay? Everything in life started with a thought, okay? Every single thing started with a thought. And that thought, they were able to create something with it, right? They were able to invent new things. They were able to come up with different things. They were able to do different things, right? Like this chair I'm sitting on, like it happened from a thought. It was just a thought. But I bet the person whoever came up with the chair, the person, nobody could see that vision, right? Nobody could see what they wanted to do. Nobody could see that. Only they could see it, okay? And maybe only the right person that wanted to help out with building the chair. Maybe somebody helped to build the chair. Maybe they saw it too. But the only person that saw that vision or what they could have is this person that made this chair right here. I hope that makes sense. If every thought creates an action, right? And you build something from a thought, and that means that anything that you think in your mind exists. Period, right? Anything that you think in your mind exists. And if it exists, then why can't it be you? Why can't you have it? If other people have it, why can't you have it? Why are they placed on a bigger pedestal than you're placed on? Then you place yourself. We all come in this world with the same value. Stop listening to people who are telling you that it's unrealistic for you to require certain things from your life, or it's unrealistic for you to have somebody that treats you right or treats you well or treats you the way that you want to be treated, okay? Whether that's friends that you want to treat you right or that's a guy you want to treat you right. Stop listening to that, okay? Stop listening to people. Like, say you tell a friend that you want something and you require something from a man and they're telling you oh, that's unrealistic. Why are you asking for that? Stop listening to them. First of all, stop listening to people who don't have what you want. Stop listening to people who don't value you. Stop listening to people who make you feel insecure or are insecure about themselves. Stop listening to people who don't want what you want, okay? If they don't want what you want, it's going to be very hard for them to see the vision or see what you would like in your life, okay? And that brings me to, if you are constantly running into negative comments about what you require or what you want, stop sitting yourselves at tables that speak negatively about the thing that you want, or stop sitting yourselves at tables where your friends aren't positive. You shouldn't be sitting at tables where people are just telling you that you're asking for too much, okay? Your friends should be able to be like, yeah, girl, you're not asking for too much. You need to leave that guy over there because somebody else could treat you better. Your friends should be encouraging you, being positive, being your supporter, of course. And I'm not saying we're always right and our friends should always agree with us, but what I'm saying is your friends should be able to speak light into you. They should be positive. They shouldn't be negative. If you tell your friend, oh, I would like this from a guy, or maybe I require certain things from this friendship, it's not unrealistic for you to have it. And this brings me to people just don't want to. People just don't want to, okay? If you're asking for someone to treat you right and they are constantly just stepping over your boundaries, not treating you right, devaluing you, they don't want to. And if that same person is telling you that it's unrealistic for me to treat you this way, or it's unrealistic for me to give you this kind of treatment or get princess treatment or whatever, they don't want to treat you like that. They want to treat you with mediocre treatment. They want you to stay here, because if you stay here, it doesn't require them to put in the work to have you, to be with you, to rise to that occasion. They do not want to do that. And you know what? This is gonna be a little bit of tough love, but it's perfectly okay. You know why it's perfectly okay? Do you know why it's perfectly okay for that person that does not want to meet your standard to not meet your standard? Because there are many people out here. There are so many people out here that are going to align with you, that fit what you need in your life and want in your life. And you don't have to stick around to that person that doesn't want to give you what you require, what you desire, what you want, okay? You are not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong person. And to stick around to somebody who isn't going to give you what you desire, need, want, and I know you feel like, I know you know that it's not a huge ask. And to be honest, it's not a flex to say oh, I don't require much. It's not, because no, baby, I do require a lot. Okay, because I require a lot for myself. I expect to be treated how I treat myself. People treat you how you treat you. And if you don't treat yourself well, and we're going off into a tangent, and this is another part of the point that I'm going to talk about, but I'm just saying, if you don't treat yourself well, it's going to be very hard for you to identify when people treat you right, when people actually value you. And that brings me to valuing yourself, right? If you valued yourself, if you learn to value yourself, if you treated yourself well, you'll be able to identify when somebody isn't treating you right, okay? You'll be able to identify, hey, this is not a huge ask from this person. I do this for myself. I give this to myself. I'm kind to myself. I love myself. I treat myself with respect. This is what I need in my life. This is what I would like in my life. If you give that same thing to yourself, you'd be looking at that person like, this is not unrealistic. This is not unrealistic for me to ask for this. This is not unrealistic for me to want this in my life. I already give it to myself. I already I already treat myself like the queen I am. So why would it be unrealistic? It's not. It's not. We have to learn to start valuing ourselves. And this brings me to spending time with yourself unlocks your value. Oh, we know. If you've been here for a long time, you know. Spending time with yourself makes you see it makes you see the value in yourself. It makes you invest in yourself. It makes you see yourself for who you are. And I've talked about this through and through on my channel, okay? When I spent a lot of time with myself, I was able to see my value. I was able to understand my value. I was able to see that I was worth more than I thought in previous years when I was in my younger 20s. And the reason spending time with yourself unlocks your value, because the number one reason why people don't want to leave relationships is because of time and investment. They invested time in it. Most likely they've invested time. And it's the same thing with anything in life. If you invest money or time into something, you first of all, you see the value in it. Best believe if I spent money on something, I see the value in it, okay? This camera right here, this mic right here, we are, best believe I'm gonna keep it all nice and perfect, because baby, I spent money on it, okay? But not only that, something like my YouTube channel, I spent time on it. You think I'm gonna give up on this? No, I spent time on it. I'm not gonna give up. So if you spent time on yourself, if you invested money into yourself, do you think you're going to give up on yourself? Do you think you're going to allow somebody to come in your life that doesn't value you? Do you think you're going to allow people to treat you bad if you treat yourself right? No, you're not. Because you spent a lot of time with yourself. You invested in yourself, whether it's money, whether it's time. All of that unlocks your value, okay? And then not only that, but you get to know yourself. You get to know your ins and outs of yourself. You get to know what you need, what you want. And when you know what you need and what you want, you start to require that from yourself. And when you require that from yourself, you're allowed to see like, hey, me asking for this thing from this person isn't unrealistic, isn't a big ask, because I know what I want in my life. I know what I desire in my life. I know what my body craves, needs, wants, what my mind wants, craves, needs. Like, when you know yourself, I'm getting chills, but it's so powerful as a woman, not even just as a woman, but as a person. My dog is like making all this noise, but as a person, to know who you are. Like for me, I know that I value communication in my friendships and relationships. And if I get around people, like if I know that I require this, if I know that I love communication, if I know that honestly, I think it's my desire to just feel safe, right? And I feel so safe within myself that I want to feel safe around other people. You know, I also communicate to myself a lot, where it's like, you know, I ask myself how I'm feeling, what am I doing, like how I'm feeling, what do I require from myself, what do I need. Because I do that, I realize that I value communication when it comes to like friendship, when it comes to people. Like, you know, I just value communication, or just telling me like, you know, like different things, like maybe I cross your boundaries, let me know so I can fix it, like, or just, you know, just let me know if you're busy, or you don't have to tell me everything, but like, you know, communicate with your friends. We're older now, right? So I value things like that, and I know I value things like that, but I wouldn't have known that until I sat down with myself. And I'm not even gonna lie, certain situations help you to know that also, because I've had certain situations where I've had friends that I no longer have that didn't really value communication, or didn't really care to build a really good friendship with me, right? And I could feel and sense my body getting tense, or like my body just telling me like, this is not what I want, you know? And it's not necessarily that the person is a bad person. And I want to get into that too, because sometimes we'll be thinking like, oh, well, this person's not that bad. They have some good traits. They have this, they have that. But even if the person is not that bad, even if the person is good, does that mean that person is good enough for you though? Does that mean if the person is good enough to sit at your table, to be around you? Because if you feel like this desire to want something else, or like you crave something else, how could that person be good enough for you? You know, they may be good, but maybe they're good enough for somebody else. So you're not asking for too much. You're just asking the wrong person. That person doesn't align with your needs, with your wants. And I tread lightly when I say this, because you also shouldn't feel lack within yourself. You know, you shouldn't feel lack within yourself. You should give yourself all your needs and your wants, but anything that someone brings to you is an addition to you, right? But also, if you feel like you crave something from a friendship or a relationship or whatever you're asking for, even a job or your dream car, apartment, whatever you're asking for, if you feel like you crave that, then why aren't we going after what we desire? Because if you had that thought, and that thought pops up in your mind, that means that you want it. So why can't you have it? But other people have it, and other people are going after it. So why aren't you going after it? And then that also brings me to, along with time and value and investment in yourself, treating yourself well also unlocks your value. Because if you treat yourself well, you'll be able to identify when other people aren't treating you well, right? And yeah, you'll be like, when people say that nobody can love you until you love yourself, it is the most accurate, the most like cliche quote, but the most I cannot talk. The most accurate quote out there, okay? I could not sit up here and allow somebody to love me until I love myself, until I treat myself well, okay? And this brings me to, what do you want, okay? Like I said earlier, we know what we want when we get to know ourselves, right? But let's be real here. Are you constantly lying to yourself about what you want? And this is something I used to do. And sometimes it's very easy to lie to yourself. Or maybe like how social media has normalized cheating or normalized certain things. It's like, now in your mind, you're thinking like, subconsciously, you're going to start thinking like, okay, I'm asking for too much. I shouldn't be asking for this. I can't ask for this. This is unrealistic. What I'm saying is, you know when you're lying to yourself, when you have this gut-wrenching feeling, when you have this underlying feeling, when your body starts to tense up, when it starts to feel weird and you're like, I feel weird around this person. I feel a little anxiety around this person. Every time I ask this person to just do something simple, they don't want to do it. But you start lying to yourself. You're like, but I'm being unrealistic. I'm asking for too much. I should be grateful that this person's even doing this. Like, you're lying to yourself. And that brings me to, you have to know what your mind is craving, what you desire. Whatever you want, ask yourself, is this good enough for me? Or is this somewhat good? Is this like, is it mediocre? And then one question I love to ask myself, and I feel like this is a good question to ask yourself when you are conflicted and you're confused. Is this person adding to me, or is this person taking away from me? Do I wake up stressed, anxious, feeling down when I'm around this person? You know, if you leave a situation feeling stressed, anxious, annoyed, is this really your person? Is that the person you should be asking to do more for you, or asking for? Like is that really the person, you know? But if you leave a situation feeling happy, excited, you feel like you can grow with somebody, whether it's a relationship or a friendship, you have exactly what you want. This brings me to my next point. Do not ever I hope you can hear that, because don't ever. Do not ever beg someone to treat you right. If you have told somebody that they crossed your boundaries, or what your standards were, what you required, and they weren't trying to treat you right, they weren't fixing it, right? Because I do still believe in communication, but once my standards are communicated, if you're treating me a certain way, I'm not staying. I'm not staying, because I don't treat myself that way. But do not ever beg somebody to treat you right, okay? You are not asking. I have to keep relaying this. You are not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong person. The right person will meet you where you're at. The right person will rise to the occasion, will rise to your standards. The right person will. The right person will come to you, align to you, okay? That's why it's so important to just ask for what you want and be firm in what you want, okay? Oh my goodness. I just met this friend that I feel like we've known each other forever. And I just remember, I believe in God. So I remember just praying to God for like a really good friend who aligned with me. I didn't even really know what that looked like, but I know that that's what I desired. That's what I wanted. And I wanted a friend who reciprocated my energy, communicated with me, and she is such a great friend. She is such a great friend. And I met her like maybe 2 months ago, and we haven't known each other for a long time. But when I say we aligned so well together, it is insane. And sometimes it may feel like what you're asking for is prolonging itself and it's taking a long time. But look, if you want a good friendship or relationship, you may have to wait a little bit longer, but let me tell you that wait is going to be very well worth it, okay? So if somebody is not willing to treat you right, not wanting to rise to the occasion, do not beg them. You know why? Because you are going to meet somebody that aligns with you. And this brings me to this, okay? You are going to delay your blessing the more. I'm like, Girl, the more you keep that same person around, the more you allow that person to stick in your life and they're not giving you what you desire in a friendship or relationship, you delay your blessing. You delay it so much because, first of all, bring it back to the example of you always feel anxious around them. You feel like something is taken away from you, right? So all of that is building up and it's creating trauma. It's creating you're not loving yourself, and it's creating a self-esteem issue. Like, it's creating insecurity, because the longer you stay with that person, the longer you're going to be like, okay, this person doesn't value me, this person doesn't see my worth. What do you think that's going to do to you? That's going to make you be insecure. That's going to make you have lower self-esteem. So now you're going to have to go on a whole healing journey because you have sat in a place longer than you should have, when you should have left, and I understand it is easier said than done, okay, but I just gotta give a little tough love here. Because there are times where you sit in places where you gotta go. You delay your blessings each time you stay and stick around to something that isn't for you. You also have to make room for what you want. If somebody's around you and they're not valuing you, they aren't treating you right, how could you make room for what you want? That space is being taken up by somebody who's taking a big deal of energy from you because of everything that they're doing to you or not treating you right. They're taking up a lot of room. They're taking up a lot of room in your mind, in your well-being. Like, they're taking up so much room, okay? You have to let go of people who aren't treating you right in order to get people that actually treat you right, that actually treat you well, okay? You have to make room for what you want. And the longer you keep something around that's not for you, you'll never get what you want. And the next thing, when it comes to delaying your blessings, you have to heal. You have to heal. You have to build yourself up to know that you can have more, okay? And this may require a whole healing journey. I talk about my healing journey all the time. I love talking about my healing journey. But the reason you need to it requires healing, because anything that you want, anything that requires more from yourself or more from other people, you have to change with something within yourself. There is a reason why you may be allowing certain people in your life, you may be allowing people to treat you a certain way. You need to dig that up. You need to ask yourself, why do I allow people to treat me like this? Why do I feel like I can't ask for more? Why do I feel like I don't deserve this? You have to dig deep. You have to you have to dig so deep that you heal from this stuff, that you ask yourself these questions, you dig it up, and you start to heal from it. And then you start to affirm yourself, and then you start to believe, oh my God, I can have this thing, okay? I'm not asking for too much. I give this to myself. I love myself, so why would I be asking for too much when I love myself? If you love yourself, you're not asking for too much, okay? You're not asking for too much for somebody to treat you right, or treat you the way that you see or desire or want or whatever. And that doesn't just go for people, but it goes for things in your life that you want. You're not asking for too much, okay? You're not asking for too much, but you do whatever you're asking for. You have to make sure you are in alignment with it. You have to make sure that you are ready to receive it, okay? Like something like a job. If you are asking for more, from like a better pay, more, right? Make sure you're spending time having the skills for that job. You're spending the time preparing for that thing. If you want a man, a good guy, or a friend that's communicating with you, that loves you, or same for a guy, right? A guy that really loves you, communicates with you, is a protector, all of these things, then you have to set yourself up for it, right? You have to heal from your trauma. You have to start believing you can have it. You have to start treating yourself well and giving yourself that kind of treatment. You have to communicate. If you want a friend that communicates with you, you have to learn how to communicate. There are certain things that you have to learn to align yourself to what you want, okay? Because you can't say you want a good friend and you're out here just being a bad friend. Like, no ma'am, no ma'am. Okay, you can't say you want your dream relationship with this guy and you have so much to heal from and you have things that you haven't let go of. No ma'am. No ma'am. Because when you get that thing, you're gonna ruin it. You're gonna ruin it. So in order to not ruin it, we have to allow ourselves to heal. We have to allow ourselves to believe that we can have it. We have to allow ourselves to see our value, and we have to love ourselves. Okay, guys, that is literally all I had. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, and I'm so happy I did it. I hope what I said, you know what, I'm not gonna even say that because it did make sense. I always do that. I always second guess myself. I'm not gonna do that. It made sense. It was a great video, okay? Yeah, I gotta affirm myself. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video, and let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know, or let me know whatever other topics you would like me to touch on. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.